Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Timmy B, host of the Fight Insight podcast. We have an incredible show for you today. Liz Carmouche, Rilla, is here. This is my co-host, UFC veteran, my friend, your friend, Brian BamBam Barberina.
Let's go, Timmy B. You know what time it is? Let's hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fight Insight podcast.
Our guest today is a returning guest. She is a legend in women's MMA. She's a former Marine who completed 3 tours in the Middle East. She is the first female to ever step foot in the UFC octagon. She is the current and 4-time Bellator Flyweight champion. And this past weekend, just a few days ago, she advanced to the semifinals for the second year in a row in the PFL Flyweight 500K tournament with a first-round stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show, the Rilla, Liz Carmouche.
Thank you.
That nickname always tongue ties me, Liz.
Yeah. Me too. Don't worry about it.
How are you, Liz? And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing good. Took 2 days to hang out with the family, so we're enjoying Universal Studios, and then I'll head to the second part of fight camp in anticipation for the next one.
I'm so happy for you, Liz. I was out in the East Coast commentating a MMA show that I do at Fight League Atlantic, and I was watching you in between and over the night. I was so happy to see you. How did everything feel? Everything went your way? You looked amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really smooth fight camp. I hired a nutritionist and strength and conditioning coach for this one, and I feel like that made a really huge difference. It felt like the weight cut was probably the smoothest cut I've had at 125. The shortest. Usually, I don't tell people, but I usually cook myself for like 12 hours to get like ounces off at a time. It just doesn't come off. And we were like done after an hour. We're like, all right, this is not the norm. This is awesome.
Yeah,
are we sure this doesn't seem something bad about to happen? So it was good. It was good, and then great results. I told the commentators that I either wanted to get like a secret submission that I've been working on, or to get a liver finish, and the liver finish was there.
It was awesome. Absolutely incredible. Liz, you're a goddamn legend in the sport, a 4-time Bellator champion. What do you mean you're hiring a nutritionist for the first time?
Not the first time. So I've done like the Fight Week nutritionist just for somebody to cook the meals. Yeah, okay. But I've always just done my nutrition on my own. My original coach said that he was a nutritionist, and so I followed what he had told me to do. I felt like I was missing some elements and did more research. I was like, hey, I feel like I'm missing something. He's like, no, you're wrong. And it's like, okay. Yeah. So I just listened to him, and it comes to a point where you're like, no, I need somebody else in charge.
Then it's a whole new level. It's a whole new little level of Liz Carmouche. I'm so excited for you. Look, I want to get to a few things because I know you're at Universal Studios right now, right?
Yes.
Excited.
Have you gone to Super Mario World yet?
Not yet. We made it to the Harry Potter because I'm a Harry Potter fan. My son is.
Yes, me too.
And so I'm like, all right, I haven't been to Universal, but let's go to Harry Potter, and then we can work our way back.
And thank goodness this is after your fight. Have you had the butterbeer yet?
I have not. I probably won't. It looks like it's like diabetes in a cup. So
Liz,
try and avoid
not part of the
not part of the nutrition plan. Exactly. See, doing things smartly.
Yeah.
Liz, you need to fire the if that nutritionist says that Hogwarts' greatest drink is not good for you, then this guy is no good. Get a new one.
There you go. I'll tell her. I'll let her know. Like, sorry, you're doing it wrong.
It's great that you're taking the time in between before the next camp and stuff to have that family time. That's very important. That's very good. Exactly. Awesome to see you enjoying the moment too.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing, Liz. Look, Liz, I do have a few things I want to ask you. The brackets for the tournament. Obviously, I'm not a fighter, but I do know how to make a tournament bracket. I used to play tennis my whole life. Look, here when I look at the bracket, I don't know if you can see it here.
Yeah.
If I was to do rankings, this is where rankings would go. Number 1 should be at the top, 2 at the very bottom, 3 across from 2, and 4 across from 1. Why on earth is the Bellator Flyweight champion ranked 3rd in the bracket?
Okay, so see, I never did anything with tournaments growing up. Like I played softball and I played soccer. So as far as like tournaments, I have no. So when you show me that, I'm like, oh, is that what that means?
Yeah.
I wasn't really. That was a surprise to me. So like, oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know. I think just based on the results of last year, right? So when you look at the results and the way the finishes went heading out of the last tournament, I think that's how they decided it. And being that I lost in the semifinals and then the other two, right? So that would put Dakota's being 1, and then it would put Santos as being 2.
Yeah.
And then I think just based on speed of finishes, Velasquez beat me. She had a faster finish than I did.
I don't
know.
I
think that's how they did it.
Liz, you're being very nice, but Dakota's not
very humble. Very humble.
Dakota's not even in the tournament, so technically you're 1 spot up.
It should be, yeah.
So look, if you need to get fired up for your semifinals,
here's how I look at it. The numbers right now don't matter as long as it's my hand with its number 1 and I have the belt. It doesn't matter what they place me as. They could say I'm number 17 as long as at the end I'm number 1. So
Hey, I mean, there's a bit of a problem. If you're ranked number 17 in an 8-person tournament, that's not very good.
we have an issue, right? Yeah.
Hey, that's an awesome story right there, though.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah.
Liz, very quickly, I'm happy the way PFL was looking. They seem to be doing better in terms of the promotion of the fighters and stuff like that. There were more video packages of everybody. Everybody got their moment to shine. Were you happy with that?
Yeah, I definitely feel like they're helping out a lot more when it comes to social media. I mean, we even met with their social media team, and they're like, hey, if you would like advice, we have an opportunity. We'd like to help you and give you some feedback on analytics and everything. If you don't, then don't worry about it. I'm like, yeah, of course I want help. Like, I suck at social media. Absolutely. Please help me. Like anything you guys can give me, I'm all aboard.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're really stepping up and realizing they have to invest in their fighters more because we're not all educated, or some of us, it's just not our forte. And, like, hey, I'm good at hitting people in the face. I'm not so great on social media. If you guys help me, I'll help you. I'll hit the people in the face. You do my social media.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's really cool, Liz, because I did notice that there seemed to be a big difference this year in the look of it and everything like that. Yes, and if you got any handouts at that social media training, please send it to my friend Brian BamBam Barbarina.
I'm also terrible.
Look at his background here, Liz. This is my co-host. It's terrible, Liz.
Bottle luck.
Yeah. Liz,
that's what you can say is you're hotboxing the whole time. You're like, I'm cooking myself.
There you go.
I'm in the sauna. I'm suffering so that you don't have to.
That's what I'm going for. Exactly.
Liz, do not encourage this man. Liz, I will say though, I wasn't able to see a lot of the crowd. Was there a big crowd at this event? Because it did not sound very loud at certain parts.
Yeah, it definitely was a lot smaller than what I expected. When I had to buy my family tickets for the fight, and when I was purchasing it, they said 900 seats were available, which to me again still seems like a smaller venue. But then when we went for weigh-ins, I was looking, I'm like, I don't know where you're gonna fit 900 people in here. It looks like maybe 100 people. Like, it was a lot smaller. They definitely had more than 100 people, but they didn't have 900. There's no way.
Can I ask how much tickets were?
They were definitely affordable. I want to say, I mean, if I told my family,
bucks.
No, they were definitely not $1,000.
Okay.
If they'd been $1,000, my family would have stayed home, and I wouldn't have bought tickets for them. It wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, that's interesting, Liz. Why isn't there a bigger crowd though for PFL? Why wouldn't they have more people?
I think in particular this one because they did it in one of the recording studios for Universal Studios. So it was a really small. It's on the Universal Studios lot, and it was really like, I mean, if you've ever been to the Palms in Vegas, it was smaller than that.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then hopefully they hooked you up with some Universal tickets too, right? For after the fight, hopefully.
I wish it would have been nice. I was hopeful like they'd have some discount code for the hotel or Universal or something. Like, nah, they're like, you're in your own. I'm like, okay.
So Liz, what you needed to do, you shouldn't have left. You just stay there.
There you go. Just camp up, right? Yeah, they're not gonna know.
And then at nighttime you show up.
My son is not a ninja. There's no way that kid would have they'd be like, he would immediately be like, hey, we're not supposed to be here. We're here. I'm like, no, you have to say that. Just be quiet, dude. No. He would definitely have ratted us out in a heartbeat.
Very nice. And can I ask, have you ever met Don Davis yet?
No, I don't think so.
Liz. Okay. Why has he not met you yet, Liz?
I'm in a bubble. I live in my bubble.
I guess
like
so.
that.
Fine. Look,
I understand that.
every time there's a post, and I know I tag you a lot, so I'm sure you see me hyping you up, but every time I go, Liz Carmouche, the goddamn Bellator champion, I always say it. Have they said anything to you about the belt or what you're doing with that thing yet?
Nothing. I mean, as far as I know, it kind of would seem as though it like discreetly was just drifted away into the darkness and replaced with PFL. I mean, what my guess would be is that because Dakota is in this tournament, and I don't know the reason for that, I imagine she's won back-to-back tournaments. So she's just going to take a rest, let somebody win this one and do champion versus champion would be my guess. I could be completely wrong. And she could come back next year and be like, yeah, joke's on you guys. I'm doing a full tournament or I'm going to UFC. I don't know. I think it's going to be the winner of this goes against Dakota to decide the true champion of PFL would be my guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be a good sell.
Yeah. Good. And Liz, how do you feel that you stack up against Dakota?
I think it's good. I think for one, we've seen other elements now of what her striking is capable of, as well as what it looks like when she faces a southpaw, what it looks like when she faces somebody that's desperate for takedowns. But also we got to see that on the ground, she's not a slouch. Everybody thought she was, but she shut down Bishop. Bishop didn't even put her in harm's way of having to defend a submission. So that shows that she is a lot more versed on the ground than everybody thought, which means it's a lot more exciting for me. It means I can play standing, I can play on the ground like that. I like it when it's a challenge. So when it's one dimensional, it's like, okay, cool. We know if we get her to the ground, everybody knows like it's done. Like that's not a guarantee. Standing wise too. So to me, that's a lot more fun.
Well, awesome. Liz, I don't want to keep you very long. I'm very excited for your next fight is the semifinals. Yes. You're facing Elora Dana, who is the jungle weight flyweight champion. So if PFL and Don Davis is listening, I want you to bring your Bellator title to the cage. She brings the jungle fight title. And then when Girlrilla wins, you grab both belts and you hold the belt. And now
I like it. I accept that. I like that.
I like
just
it.
Liz,
thank you so much for joining the podcast. I want you to be able to get back to your son. But here's the thing.
Thank you so much.
BamBam and I are going to be continuing the show. If you get to Mario Kart, feel free to log back in and just take us for the ride because that's a dream to go to that.
Absolutely.
All right. See you later, Liz. Have a good one.
All right.
Have a good one. It's great talking with you.
Thank you too. Bye.
Boom.
Yeah.
That is Liz Carmouche. Look, she's with her son on vacation.
So cool. So cool of her to, still come on, give us the time, talk with us. Great person.
Honestly, she is such a cool person, BamBam. I'm very happy to have had her on the second time, and I definitely will have her on again. She's so cool, man. Like we say, BamBam, there's a lot of people that we meet on this show that are friendly to you afterwards and stuff like that, and she's one of the people that's been just always such a great person. I'm so happy for her success.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, she's a legend. She's been doing this. First girl who stepped in the octagon in the UFC. Still continuing to put her on. It's great to hear that she finally got a nutritionist and getting it. But honestly, I'm not surprised by what she said either because, the same thing happened to me. You take the advice of the people that are around you at first and you kind of get stuck on that. It's working. So it works and whatever, but in the end, is it working ultimately for, the whole package? Is it your health, your, everything, the best weight cuts and all that, or are you just making weight? Your weight's just coming down and making weight. So, very cool for her to get that and realize that. She said she got the strength training too, so I'm sure she's seeing a ton of benefits from both.
Yeah,
and man, always improving, right? Always improving, and it's good to see that she still has that. Yeah,
she looked fantastic, BamBam. Yeah. Like for being an OG in this sport, you look at other OGs that we've seen come and go.
Yeah,
she's been there for. And before that, she was Strikeforce. Before that, she was Invicta. Look, and she looks great. She looks muscular as hell, strong. Her skill level is never diminishing. She always looks like she's at the top of the game. Yeah. Liz Carmouche, one of my absolute favorites, and I'm very excited for her. Look, BamBam, I am super pumped up right now. And it's so funny we're talking about nutrition because I had a great weekend out at Fight League Atlantic, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But I am also back on Magic Mind. And I know you're going to be as soon as you get to your mailbox. Yeah. But look, man. So look, I'm back on this. If you've been a viewer of the podcast before, and if you're on audio only, come check it out. But this is my magic mind here. Okay. It's like a little
Reclaim
shot.
your brain. Reclaim your brain.
Reclaim your brain. But look, this thing is marketed as it's for your cognition, it's for your energy, and it's for less stress. It doesn't replace coffee. You just take your one shot in the morning, and you're supposed to do it like every day for 15 days, 30 days, whatever it is you're going to do. I did it before. And honestly, I was like skeptical because I'm like, okay, first, I was worried about how it was going to taste. Second, I was worried like, okay, is this really going to do anything? But I really felt energized. I really felt like, and doing this podcast all the time, I always feel like I'm a bit drained at times. But this thing picks you up, man. And now I'm on day 5. And I really appreciate it because Magic Mind reached out and said that we can send you some. And I was so happy to do that. And I was buying it before too, because this thing is great. Yeah. And I'm back on it, man. And I'm telling you, I feel good. I'm so excited. By the time next week hits, we're going to see how you're feeling. And I'd really love to know, because you're like an athlete and you're like in the peak physical condition of 1% of human beings. So I want to know like how it affects you, but it's mind. It's mind. You know what I mean? It's your alertness and your thing. And I really like that, man. Go check it out at magicmind.com. And I have a code that you can use. I'll put that in the show notes. I think it's FISTL20. But go look in the show notes and find it, because I'm going to put it there for sure. But go to magicmind.com. Go check it out, man. And it's just something new.
A quick little shot.
If Liz Carmouche,
that brain fog gone, focus,
see ya,
feeling good, energy high. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. And if Liz Carmouche can now adapt to a new nutritional coach, whatever you think you're doing, you can always improve. You can always change, man.
Yep.
And it tastes really good too.
I'm looking forward to trying mine, getting mine, run to the post office, getting mine. Really excited to start trying it.
Yeah.
Excited to let you know how it's, getting me feeling, like you said, with all the training and everything too. See how it mixes in with that. So that'd be really cool.
It's going to be crazy, man. And look, so like I said, this past weekend, I was out at FLA 19. Here's my staff badge. So I add it to the list. It's very cool. It looks like a Fight Club,
Yeah.
The bars of soap. And I'll put that back up later because it'll mess up now. But the event was crazy. Bam Bam, last time, as I told you, or as you knew, the lights went out in the whole arena. This time we're back in the same arena, Moncton Coliseum, because we're there 3 times a year of the 5 shows, or 2 or 3 times a year we're there.
Yeah.
Man, you're crossing your fingers going like, no car's going to smash into a hydro pole again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What are the chances?
Bam Bam, 9 fights. I was lucky enough to be on commentary. Dude, every single fight, absolutely bananas.
Nice.
And I mean, every fight better than the next. The competitors were incredible. Friends of the podcast, Rory Gillis was in the main event, and he wins by a knockout TKO stoppage in the second round. Devastating. The dude has the mustache. You were on one of the FLA Exposure podcasts. So the dude in the mustache, he's a firefighter from Fredericton. Oh my God. I mean, 3-0 now as a pro. He already has been called out by another Canadian athlete out in the West Coast. And I think, and from what it looked like online, they're saying, yep, September, let's do this. So
nice.
Very excited. And I said to Rory, I was messaging him today, and I go, yo, if people are calling you out, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? If people are saying, hey, I want you. So yeah, happy for him. His teammate and former guest of the podcast, Mr. Entertainment Ben Leese. I mean, the crowd, Bam Bam, sounded like it was like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people.
Wow.
Bananas when this kid enters. He's 20. I want to say he's like 22 years old. He went viral in some of his early fights. This is how I even know about Fight League Atlantic, because I saw clips of him, and that's how he started getting into the promotion.
Wow.
Kid, sells it on the mic.
Yeah.
Knockouts, beautiful knockouts. He dropped a fight in his amateur career. Really took a hard loss, came back, bounced back after that, won a 3-round war against another guy, which was an excellent fight as well. But I thought, that's good, man. After getting knocked out, go into a deep war, get taken into deep waters, test your chin, right? Then so he does that, and then he turns pro, young kid turning pro, but he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna do it." Turns pro, fights another absolute beast from the East Coast. His name is the Beast, Jake Cunningham, great dude as well. And just, I mean, between the two of them, absolute war, dude.
Oh wow,
but the whole card, the whole
sounds like
night,
he's
we had
full of
some
good
legends,
good fights.
Yeah, great fights. I mean, it did not miss. You want to know how crazy it was? The commission guys, like the judges that were sitting, along the cage side.
Yeah.
They were handing me and Chris Kalidas notes during, going, "This is the greatest event ever. This night is absolutely fantastic." Like, and we're just sitting there going, "Okay." Like, I mean, we know it, but like to be able to have people say it was freaking amazing. So
that's
like,
really cool.
Very, very cool, man. The people were great. The fans were great. Incredible show. Next one is in
obviously
June.
The energy in there was electric.
Dude, the crowd is crazy, because, and there should be more people. Can I say though, like if you're on East Coast Canada, I just find the cheapest flight there. Okay, so I fly in, and then I've got like an hour and a half drive to the city, because whichever city is cheaper, I'll take that one. I don't mind. I listen to a nice podcast and I drive.
Yeah.
There's not enough people though. Like I'm like every guy under the age of 30.
Like if you guys just need to get there, see it. Like especially if you never experienced a live fight, it's completely different. Get there if you're able to. I mean, like you're talking about, the arena is electric. You get that feeling when you're in there. I mean, it's completely different than just watching on a streamer or TV,
Yeah.
So.
And then the thing is too, is I think like, okay, maybe people think that this is like low production value or something like that.
Yeah.
And I've gone to some here in Toronto that was like in a hockey rink, and it was like really bad. But I had the best friggin' time, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
But forget that. You go to these shows and it looks like you're in the UFC. I've been to UFC. This literally looks like you're at the UFC. The walkouts, the friggin' music, the way that the lighting is rigged, like it's all freaking professional.
Yeah.
And we had like a Sarah Wilson, who's also a friend of the show. She's been on the podcast. She was doing like in audience interviews, and she interviewed some East Coast Canada power slap fighter.
Oh wow!
I didn't even know you had a power slap fighter. So he was there.
Cool that he was there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was freaking cool, man. Like, yeah, it's very, very cool, man. So it was a great event. I'm pumped up from that. I'm surprised my voice is still lasting.
The sauna's heating up here. Heating up in here.
Getting hot. It's getting hot.
Fogging up. I'm trying to wipe my camera here.
Yeah. When I said the thing to Liz about the tournament brackets, do you know about that? Like, do you know how a tournament should be ranked? Like,
honestly, no. I would have been just like her and been like, oh,
really? Whatever.
What? Yeah, that's why like you put it up. I was kind of looking at the numbers, like, oh, what does it mean? Wow, yeah. What?
Like, see, I don't know. Maybe because, like, see, if she played soccer, I played soccer my whole life too. But in soccer, it's not so much tournaments as much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's normally like round robins and then whatever. But in tennis, it's always brackets, and and the seeding matters because, like, number 1 faces number 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep. So like you have to, and then so it's got to sort out right. So like you always wanted to have a good ranking because you wanted to play against the crappy players first.
Yeah.
Yep.
It gives you the advantage, right?
So just when I saw the brackets posted, I'm like, this doesn't make sense, dude.
Yeah.
If Dakota's not in the tournament, Liz Carmouche is number 1.
Yeah.
Talia Santos, fine, because she was in the finals. But then it should be Liz Carmouche.
Still though, even that though, like, why do you go off the previous tournament? Like, I get it.
Well, I'm just saying,
maybe
but I'm just saying, like, fine. So I could appreciate that Talia Santos would be number 1. Then probably Liz Carmouche and Jenna Bishop, both friends of the podcast. Jenna Bishop won and advanced, which that was a fantastic fight too, and I'm so happy for her. You were on with
I was. Jenna? Yes, I was.
Yeah, so Jenna, and can I tell you, they did Jenna real good on the promotions as well.
I did notice that they're doing a lot more promotions.
A lot more.
Like, getting to know the fighters a lot more than usual. So, I mean, smart on their part, really, because people aren't going to watch if they don't know who's fighting, really.
That's right. So. And look, Liz Carmouche, although she's a legend, you still want to know more about her every day.
Yeah.
You still want to know about
what her life's like. Yeah.
And then And then when you look at Jenna Bishop, okay, very good looking girl. Got the BJJ background. She's from California. She's got all the makings of a superstar.
Yeah.
And she's got the personality. We know, we've had her on the show 3 times. This girl is talented on the mic and so funny. But they never promoted her enough, as what I thought. You know, they never gave her enough shine. Sure enough, in this one, they give her all these interviews. She talks about her love of sunglasses because she always comes out to the walk-ins with like a cool look. She's sponsored by Hyperfly, this clothing brand.
Okay.
And she's always wearing their stuff. And their stuff is cool as crap.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's really cool clothing. And she's always decked out nice and everything. And so to give her the spot, like, I'm like, yeah, that's what you need to do, man. You need to promote this girl because she's a star. And she's doing well. So, like, you know, so I was very happy with that. But I could definitely hear that the crowd was very small because even in big finishes, all you heard was.
Yeah. When she said, 900 and it wasn't even that, I was like, whoa. I was expecting her to be like, 900, maybe, more or whatever. But
I don't know why she
900 was less.
I don't know why she seemed like she didn't want to tell us the price of tickets. Maybe because she got a discount too, so maybe she didn't know like what she was allowed to say. But like, if there's so few people though, like Apex sells Apex tickets are thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like even like in Toronto when there's a UFC event, the freaking nosebleeds are like 700 Canadian.
Yeah, I would say that honestly, I would hope that she would get free tickets. Like. That they would give her a few free tickets or something for her family.
Can Universal Studios not give her tickets?
Yeah.
What the frig?
Universal, what's up? Just fought here.
Okay, and here's the thing, man. 1,000,000% if I'm walking around Universal Studios and I see Liz Carmouche, I would recognize her. Or like, you know what I mean? A lot of UFC people I would recognize if like I'm just walking by and you see them.
Yeah.
So that'd be so cool, man, if I was at Universal Studios and ran into a fighter, right? Like that's kind of like
I think a lot of people question it too. Like, they'll be like, is that
double look?
Yeah, like is that I don't they almost don't think like, why would they be here?
Until you see her power slamming Voldemort and you're like,
that's her. Yeah.
After FLA 19, then went back to the hotel and we watched UFC 314.
Yes.
Did you watch it?
I did. I did watch it.
And now, look, we were supposed to have Cam Smotherman, UFC fighter, on the show as well, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it. He's going to come on either next week or the week after. He's fighting May 3rd. So we've got a couple weeks to get him on for sure.
Yeah.
That dude is a great kid, and I'm very excited. Just scheduling just kind of messed up last minute here today, but we will have him on the show later.
Part of it.
So because we were going to have 2 guests, I didn't prepare any slides for like the other stuff. So we'll just talk about things. Juliana Pena did some promos on the mic for her fight with Kayla Harrison. Did you see any of those?
Yeah. I did not see those, but I heard about them. But I didn't hear what was said. But I heard she did well.
She is money on the mic, dude.
Okay.
Juliana Pena always does great interviews. She always comes all decked out really nice, right? Her hair is always did well. She's always got a nice dress on. And she speaks like a professional wrestler. You know what I mean? Like she cuts the promos so well. As anybody knows, Kayla Harrison is a zero fan of this show. All I'm saying is all my money is on Juliana Pena to take this one, man. If Juliana Pena can beat Kayla Harrison, dude, retire and just mic drop that shit and walk away. You have nothing else to prove.
Well, she is saying that whatever Amanda Nunes is coming back. There's that talk, of course.
Do we care about that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Amanda should ride into the sunset and be done with it.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. Like, if Amanda were to come back and get stomped, what does that do for you? You're already the legend. Yeah. You're already considered the GOAT.
I don't know if she would get stomped. You know?
No. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, if you do, it's similar to like Henry Cejudo, right? Henry Cejudo generally ended on a high note, and now he's come back and got beat, and now he's going to be like on the early prelims.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know, man.
and still, like, you come back for one fight. You know,
Sure, and then
I get it because, like, obviously the fight between them, you know, there's some drama between them, Julianne Pena and her. Even if it goes the other way, Kayla Henderson, there's, you know, the sell on that fight is they train together. You know, so there's sell on both sides, but, you know, which means ultimately more money for, you know, her and everything like that. So I see the reasoning for coming back, potentially, but also, like, you know, you kind of already sealed it up. You did good. You did great. You're one of the probably the best woman of all time. You know, why come back to try to and then it just be one fight, or are you coming back to like a real return? You know, I guess.
But then, right, because then it's the same as like when GSP comes back, beats Bisping, and then he just vacates the title. I mean, that creates paper champions, right?
Yeah.
And we don't want paper champions in our sport.
Yeah, it's just
enough. Another thing that happened.
Sugar Sean Marab. Sugar Sean Marab number 2.
I hate Marab with a passion. I do not. I don't like that guy at all.
I definitely thought his mic game was weak, especially this time around. I mean, I don't think it's ever that great, but his play at, like, you know, I seen like he had Sean. It was like he's the son and whatever.
Yeah, can we get rid of that nonsense too? I don't understand about calling yourself their daddy. Like what?
Yeah, this is your son. That's the biggest thing, is like that they're the son. My sons.
It's so stupid though. No, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think it was great. Anything. Obviously, I'm Sean's a big a friend of mine, big fan. Obviously,
babysat your children.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's a good dude. He's a great fighter. I've known it from the moment, you know, I've trained with him and everything like that he was going to do big things.
Yeah.
And he's just only proven that. Excited to see him get in there. I think a rematch definitely favors him. They're very smart. Him and his team, Tim Welch, his coach, good friend also. Like they're a very smart team, and they will make adjustments and do everything, you know, that needs to be done. So excited for him to get back in there and you know, get the win, get the belt back.
When is that fight?
June. It's the same one as isn't it the same night as the what's her name?
Kayla
and them?
Juliana Pena?
No? Yeah.
And were you saying her last name wrong on purpose to disrespect her?
What is it?
Because you're my best friend. Kayla Harrison, but I thought you said something different before. I didn't know if you were doing that on purpose. Like tinfoil Mike Perry. I didn't know if you're...
Oh, that is tinfoil. Old tinfoil Mike Perry. Speaking of that, tinfoil Mike Perry over there, you know, just someone tagged me in something. He's saying that him and versus Robbie Lawler matchup is possibly going to happen later this year. It's like, man, let Robbie Lawler be. Dude's a legend. Let him enjoy his time and whatever. You know, obviously you're up for the money grab, man. Let's put that to rest and let Robbie go on his way, and let me go ahead and step in there and give you the business, because I damn sure can.
But is it because he doesn't want to fight someone that's truly going to test him? No, and no disrespect either, but like we know.
Well, personally, I think Robbie Lawler would beat him, and me personally, I believe that.
But wasn't Robbie Lawler retired?
Yeah, he is retired. Yeah, is retired.
But this is what I'm saying though. When you call out these retired fighters, don't you generally have the belief that they're probably not training every day like I am? They're probably not on the same diet plan as I am every day. They're probably not in the gym as much as I am. They're probably right. Like you're kind of picking on someone.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know Robbie's definitely in the gym, but as far as like, obviously he switched more
fighter in the gym.
He switched over to more of a coaching role, right? So,
but this is what I'm saying. I think that you're working the front desk every day, Bam Bam. I mean, like doing what you need to do. Right.
Yeah. Here's what I think. I think that if the money adds up enough for Robbie Lawler to come back to make a sweet payday, he's going to do
But
it.
that's what's bullshit.
But I mean, also too though, maybe like I think for him it's got to be an ultimate payday because really, you know, he's a smart person, really is. You know, smart about, you know, being his health and brain health and all that as well too. Given how he fights and everything too, you know, but ultimately he is a fighter's fighter.
But I think it's so stupid, Bam Bam. And I also think that if you're BKFC,
yeah,
they
want the name of Robbie Lawler.
Sure,
there,
but
right?
the problem is you get the name for that one fight and then he bolts.
Yeah,
like you're not getting someone long term. Look what happened with Jeremy Stevens. You lock him in for a 1-fight contract. He puts on an incredible show and then he bolts. Eddie Alvarez was there for 1 or 2 fights. Now he
yeah.
You should be looking for a name.
Well, the thing is too
like
is like
Bam Bam Barberina that will commit to multiple fights.
Telling him. I will say this: Mundell, he's the champ over there. Forgive me if I said that wrong. I think it's Mundell.
Yes,
this is how you say his last name. But you know, he reached out and was like, "Let's do it." Like, you know, I know Perry. Yeah, I know Perry's been ducking him, and so he reached out and said like he'd be down to square up and throw some hands. He's always looking for a challenge.
Dude.
So ultimately, you know, BKFC, let's go. You know, I'll be ready for whatever. So
that's David. That's David Mundell.
Yeah. He's a champ over there.
Which can I say? I mean, a little Bam Bam-esque.
Yeah. He did mention let's have a beard off. let's have a beard off, and so I mean, cool. You know, seems like cool dude, whatever. But ultimately, he's stepping up to the challenge, right? You know,
nice.
Mike Perry is just running his mouth and thinks he's better than everybody. So, what challenges he's willing to step up to? So, we'll see.
Yeah, I got lots to say, but I don't want to be too disrespectful. There's a squirrel that's ruining my lawn. Every time we record this podcast, he's out there destroying my lawn. This freaking
damn squirrel.
God dang it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
you gotta let him have it. Square up with him in the yard.
Some bare knuckle.
See if he runs or stays and fights.
Here's another thing. Patty Pimblett obviously put on a fantastic showing.
Wow.
Did you see backstage what happened and who came up and started talking trash to him?
Yes, I saw that with Covington.
Enough.
Stupid.
Already.
Like he's just reaching. He's reaching. He's so reaching. Like he's just trying to make sure, you know, he can get any attention and keep any eyes on him. Like that's just pity. Like fucking sad, really. Like it's
dude. It's not, and I stayed on that train longer than I should. Okay, I stayed on the Colby train as long as I could.
Yeah,
but okay, at some point you have to be a little bit humble, and you know. And I get what you're doing, so I guess. But there is no universe. There is 0 alternate realities.
Yeah.
Where
I mean, even
Colby
still,
Covington
it's like
fighting Patty Pimblett.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
None.
Ridiculous.
None.
Yeah.
There's an alternate universe where Timmy B is fighting Patty Pimblett.
Yeah.
But not Colby Covington, because it's just past, man. Like there's no way that is totally opposite trajectories at this point.
Yeah.
You got to be I wish that fighters wouldn't get drawn into it too. I wish that Patty would have just said, who are you?
Yeah.
And they said, I'm sorry, sir, I'm doing an interview. Like just told, but Patty started getting into it, and I get it. But I really wish fighters would go like, yeah, dude, I'm just gonna like totally ignore this dude.
Yeah, it should have just been like
that would still be as funny as crap.
I didn't know they let fans backstage. What are you doing here? Who are you?
I feel like you gotta be ready for that.
But honestly, I'll say it, man. I thought I picked Chandler to win. I just didn't think.
Oh my god!
I thought his explosiveness and power were going to be a big problem for him, and like he's a good wrestler, so I didn't think Patty was going to be, really take him down and stuff. Man, congratulations, Patty Pivlet. Like that was a fucking phenomenal fight. Great performance.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like I didn't think his other performances were good. I just thought like this was kind of like a gigantic step. Obviously Chandler came in and he's fought nothing but the top, had crazy wars, blah blah. But so I thought it was just a big jump, and man, he proved he's the baddie. He is a baddie, Patty. Here's a baddie. Like,
no, he's good, man.
Yeah.
On the opposite end of me being on the Colby train too long, it took me a long time to get on the Patty train. I was not a fan, whatever, and I wasn't keen on the whole thing. But yeah, I think he's matured a lot as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I think over time he's matured a lot.
They did mention on it too that he, since he had his kids or whatever, it's kind of changed his motive, whatever. But yeah, I think that was
like 2 months ago.
Was it?
Wasn't it?
No, I thought it was after his last fight. It was like right after his last fight. His kids are like just turning like a year old or something like that. Their birthday.
Okay. Maybe,
I saw he said something about it's
twins,
his kid's birthday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's definitely in the right direction, doing the right things.
Right.
First of all, how badass is it to have like a chant like that as you're walking out from the fans?
Patty
the baddie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, like epic.
Yeah.
Epic.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is like people talk so much shit about him and say stuff, whatever they want. Every freaking time he walks out, you hear that chant.
Yeah.
From the whole arena.
So you know what? Yeah, you know what's so funny is at FLA 19, Fight League Atlantic 19, Fight League Atlantic 20, tickets go on sale soon. There one guy walks out. I always love knowing the walkout tracks. Okay. I study a lot for my commentary, dude. Like I try to do as much as I can. I actually had one fighter say that I had said they had 5 children instead of 6 the last time.
Oh.
And he's like, can you please make sure you say 6? And I'm like, dude, who would think that anybody has 6 kids? I must have, I wrote it, but I'm like, holy geez, you have 6 kids. So I corrected that. One of the other fighters said, if you could please say the names of my children, it would be really fantastic. And I did. And then cool. This morning, they actually messaged me and said, hey, my daughter was so happy that you said her name on the thing.
That's awesome.
Really like doing these things for these guys. You know what I mean? Like I want to give them the best credit and respect as possible. I try, win, lose, or draw. I try to be super respectful to everybody. Try not to like go crazy overhyping the one guy while diminishing the other, and never want to do like stuff like that. I want to be honest, but I don't want to be cruel in any way. But that said, I mean, like, look, every guy that steps in there, absolute beast. Anyways, as part of my research, I always like to get to the production guy and know what the walkout songs are ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I always have like the song name and I have the artist just in case something needs to be said about it.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't this one guy choose CM Punk's entrance song? Okay. Do you know CM Punk? Well, yes, of course, fought in the UFC, but his song. Anyways,
I don't
whatever.
know the song off the top of my head, but
if you hear it, you would probably know.
Probably,
it's his song, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't sing it. Anyways,
wait, try again.
I wanna be. No, don't know. No. Shoot. Anyways, okay.
I did that for everybody's listening's pleasure. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So you know how, because you're saying like the Patty the Baddie chant, right?
Yeah.
So this guy walks out, and it's the CM Punk walkout song. The whole friggin' Moncton Coliseum. And aside from the fact that the guy is, a local fighter and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the song, man. That song pumps you up because it's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm on the commentary and I'm going, oh, this is a wicked track, CM Punk's walkout song, blah, blah. And I must have said it a few times because I'm like, the crowd pop, everything. It's cool, right?
Yeah.
And then later, someone came up to me and said, you said it was CM Punk's walkout song a few times, but that's actually sung by blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nobody cares who sings this song. It's CM Punk's walkout song. Obviously, I know it's a real song and a blah, blah, blah. And it's, but at this point, it's CM Punk's walkout song. Like, I'm sure the band that even plays it is like, yo, CM Punk's walkout song. I mean that
we
you know,
do CM Punk walkout song.
yeah. Like it was so funny though because he said that. I'm like, no man, like it's CM Punk's walkout song because I think, and that's how important it is though to pick a good walkout song or to have a good entrance or to whatever because it really just gets that crowd freaking pumped, man.
Yeah,
like yeah, it was funny though, but that was very good choice, man. Very very good choice to choose CM Punk's walkout song. I thought that was very good. Dana White was asked just recently, maybe it was in the post fight, I think, about their ESPN deal. Did you see this? Thumbs up for those on audio.
Yes, I did.
So essentially the talk was that they were close to the end of the exclusive negotiation time, which means, you know, as anybody knows, within contracts, you have an exclusive time where if you're going to re-sign, you can only speak to this company now until X date, at which point you can start to talk to other people.
Yes.
So obviously that time is getting close, Bam Bam. And so the media were saying, what's up, blah, blah, blah. And Dana kind of alludes to, well, maybe we go to 2 different places. Maybe we go somewhere different, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Bam Bam. I'm going to give you one question. Where is UFC going? There's only one right answer.
Oh, yeah. I think I know.
And it is?
Netflix.
Of course it's Netflix. There is no chance in hell that UFC is going back to ESPN.
Well, it sounds like they're hinting at that as well, you know? So,
dude,
I did hear things like possibility of them like just doing their own thing, like with
like Fight Pass?
Like Fight Pass, yeah, and running their own because they ultimately can run it all. It's their decisions. They get make all their time, do everything. But you got to think the money line is not there on UFC Fight Pass. The money line isn't what no one's going to pay them to have. You know,
Bam
that,
Bam.
So
no,
they're going where the money is.
Yeah, they're owned by TKO Group Endeavor,
and they just
has WWE.
Just went there too not long ago. Like Netflix.
WWE is on Netflix. Every show, every pay-per-view is on Netflix. They've worked out the kinks, right? I think, and here's the thing too. The first few episodes of WWE Raw, which I don't really watch, but when it went to Netflix, I'm like, okay, I'll check it out, and I will watch the pay-per-views just for the sentimental aspect of it because I used to watch with my grandfather all the time.
Awesome.
The first few episodes of Raw, glitches here and there.
Yeah.
Some audio stuff, some whatever. Now, all worked out. If you are going to test it and screw up, you want to screw up on your rigged wrestling show.
Wouldn't you say the WWE is bigger than the UFC?
But it's staged.
Yeah.
It's fixed.
I get it. I think their contract.
You can't afford for the stream to glitch when Patty Pimblett delivers the knockout blow to Chandler.
Yeah, I think that it just was the opportunity that the WWE had to get there first and then ultimately pay the road. Yeah. I understand.
It works.
Yeah,
it works. You figure it out. You let them do it. Anything. And if I'm not mistaken, I think UFC and WWE are doubling up on venues even sometimes. Like they'll be in the same venue that week. Like they'll do Raw and SmackDown and then do thing. I'm almost positive that's happening.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is the production has now figured it out. The streaming works, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Now's the perfect time. This deal ends. Obviously it's Netflix. Look, I shouldn't have to put this up, but I will in case. But where am I here?
I don't know. Timmy B's conspiracy of the week.
Conspiracy of the week. Week. Yeah, it's not a conspiracy. They're going to freaking Netflix. Like, just call it now. It's done. Yeah. April 14th, Timmy B says.
Wait. April 14th, time, 4:51 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, thank you.
Monday.
It's a done deal, dude. They're going to Netflix, which makes my Netflix subscription much more valuable now.
The
No.
subscription's gonna go up.
Well, shit. I hope not, because it's.
But
crazy.
they're saying like there's gonna be no more pay-per-views, chance of being no pay-per-views, stuff like that, right? So,
I mean, who takes the biggest hit in this deal is all the Russian streaming sites. You know, no more reloading 700 times while I watch a show. Like, this is just gonna be on freaking Netflix. And not only that, you can watch it again the day after.
Yeah,
bro, that's amazing. Like, that's that's huge.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's very cool. Okay. So that's obviously going to Netflix. Juliana Pena, Colby Covington, and Patty. What to do with Pitbull? That's my last topic.
Okay. Yeah, interesting.
Pitbull, Patricky Freire, Pitbull, comes finally to the UFC.
Yes.
Oh, and I got to tell you our next week's guest as well.
And
So we'll save that for a little bit.
But
I mean,
that's a good fight. Like, I mean, that's a big fight for him to make a debut against
Yair.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Tough
makes his
opponent.
debut, loses
Yeah.
badly, not badly, but not.
I don't think not a as far a good outing as like putting on like a fan's performance kind of thing to show that you're there no matter the loss or whatever you put on.
Remember,
you went out on your shields kind of thing, but
remember, a lot of fans don't watch Bellator. A lot of fans are very UFC casual. I don't think a lot of them probably knew too much who Pitbull was. The promos and stuff, which I thought was weird as well, can I say? With Bellator being gone.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why UFC now wouldn't hype up that he was the Bellator champion and like really put it out there, because it's not like you're saying he's the PFL champion and we're like, oh, let's go watch PFL. Bellator's dead. Just say it now, because he didn't get a lot of hype. He goes out there, does not do well. BamBam, the true Timmy B conspiracy of the week. Okay, this is the real one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
They let go of Pitbull. He never fights again.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see a chance at that.
I just don't know why you would pay him now. The only fight that maybe makes sense is him versus Chandler again, because all right, we need you need some. Where are you going to put Pitbull now?
I think you put him against. I think you can put him against Josh Emmett.
But for what reason?
Just as
what do you mean? Didn't Emmett win his last fight?
No, he lost.
He lost. Yeah, that's right.
Ron Murphy. Yeah. So I think you put him in there because Emmett's still on the borderline at the top.
Yep.
So it still keeps him right in that zone, and it's also could possibly be a good fan fight. Emmett's a big striker, everything like that, has wrestling background too. So I think it'd make for a good matchup. And then kind of depending on how that fight goes, obviously I think you gauge from there. But yeah, I mean, conspiracy of the week, Timmy B, number 2. You may be right. Maybe right.
Yeah, I don't know. He's the former Bellator lightweight champion, 3-time featherweight champion.
Yeah.
I just think that, for him to come to UFC was probably costing them a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
And if the fans weren't super behind you, right? Like, it didn't seem like the crowd was going crazy for Pitbull.
Yeah, you got to think, like, when Chandler came over, Chandler's good on the mic.
Yes.
He has a big
flashy style. Justin Gaethje, when Justin Gaethje comes over, crazy, flashy style. Like, he came in with, unfortunately, not a lot of fanfare. I don't think the fans were going crazy.
Yeah.
And then you lose to Yair Rodriguez, which that was a very winnable fight.
Yeah, tough one for sure.
And now what?
Tough fight.
Yeah, that's tough. That's my conspiracy of the week. Yeah, forget the Netflix.
He doesn't fight again.
That's lock of the week.
Wait, the Netflix is lock of the week, right?
The Netflix is a lock of the week. That is just stupid. That's guaranteed.
It's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not, and we're not splitting it. They're not doing half on ESPN, half on. No, it's freaking Netflix. Don't be stupid, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, let's stop playing games.
Yeah, I think Patricky I think Pitbull gets released. That's my pick. I think because I just don't see why you would bother. It's a very busy division, anyways. You don't need more bodies. You've got a lot of homegrown talent. You've got young kids, like young stars. To put him in there now, it's like forcing Henry Cejudo down our throats again. Like, okay,
I don't think it's that bad, but
because Henry Cejudo's worse.
yeah,
yeah. There's a long list of people that we're never having on this podcast. Henry Cejudo being one of them. Which you need to work on Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him for sure.
You need to work out on Sean O'Malley. Is that really his jacket that Merab has?
No, Merab went and bought it.
Okay.
The matching one. Here, I'll actually message Sean right now. Actually, I'll message him to ask Sean because I don't think Sean's on social media anymore.
I do not want anybody to ask Sean that question until I get to him. Yeah, I think Merab.
Someone has
said, is that the real jacket?
Yeah, it's not the real jacket.
No, but has that been said and asked? I don't think so. I've never heard that. That would be a meme immediately. People would be making fun of that this freaking dummy went out and bought a replica jacket to look like. That's so lame. If that's
for sure, so it's not lame. I guess I don't know 100%, but I'm like 99% positive that's not the real jacket that he went out and bought.
BamBam, how lame is that then? If that's a fake jacket,
I mean, he's riding that. He is riding that until it fucking. I mean,
BamBam, I'm like 99% sure it is the jacket.
No,
because if it is not, BamBam, that is the stupidest joke. I mean, that's so dumb, so dumb,
yeah,
so dumb. Yeah, okay. Next week on the podcast, BamBam.
Next week.
Have I told you who it is?
Oh, wait. We didn't hit what about talking about did we talk about the GFL falling out, or did it happen on last week's episode? No, I don't even remember. God.
No. Yeah, okay, hold on. We'll talk about that in a sec. Yeah, that happens right after we talk to fucking Fanny, right?
Yeah.
Next week on the podcast, BamBam. Look, if I go through my messages with this guy, it's like
on next week.
It's like, you gonna come on the podcast? You gonna come on the podcast? Hey, I'd love to have you on the podcast. Eventually, it gets to, hey fucker, can you come on the podcast? Hey fuck, can you come on the I just gave up being nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
did you get answers on that?
Oh, like normally the person will write back and stuff.
Yeah.
So now I go, like, no pleasantries. Not this week. Next Tuesday, April 22nd, 4 p.m. Eastern, podcast. Thumbs up. So I'm like, okay, that means yes, right? So I write back and I say, oh, okay. I'll send a reminder and a link a few days prior. Heartsy. I mean, I'm taking this as this idiot is coming. Charles Chuck Buffalo Radke.
Been calling him out. Timmy B's calling you out.
I've been calling out Chuck Buffalo for so long. I even have a preset hashtag here. Where is Chuck Buffalo? I've had this for a long time.
Didn't he tell you before he was going to come on?
He said he's going to come before, then something happened. I mean, he did, he's not like he no-showed. He said like, oh, I can't, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm dying to speak to this guy, BamBam. You want to talk about people that get screwed over by the media and who have really done him dirty? It's that dude.
Yeah.
And he's taking on Canadian Mike Malott in Canada.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
It's a great fight. And this is the guy that called like all of Brazil, blah, blah, blah. And, like this guy goes off. He's a character. He's great. I cannot wait. Freaking Chuck Buffalo on the podcast next week. If not, I will be very upset. But he should be coming on the podcast next week, as well as probably Cam Smotherman. So we'll try to figure that out so that we get both of them. Yeah, should be very, very interesting. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah, last topic, BamBam. GFL.
GFL.
You idiots. You
Pulled the plug.
absolute. I don't know what happened, man. They canceled the event. They don't say the thing is over. Darren Owen says that
I saw they posted something.
He says that one of the investors, there was an issue and things fell out, and therefore blah blah blah. We are re-looking at redoing the next event, or we're going to postpone. They have not said it's canceled. They said we are still doing the 2025 season.
What is their Instagram?
It's Global Fight League. You can't do GFL. It's Global Fight League.
Yeah, I was gonna say it came up GFL Pizza.
Yeah. Well, in Canada, there's a big garbage company called GFL. So
okay. Well, did they just announce another fight too? They did.
What?
Oh no, but okay. Hold on. Yeah. What
no.
the April 5th. Okay. That was before they
Yeah. Oh, I see. Their last one is this their last post is Uzbek versus whatever.
Yeah. But I thought they put out a post about what happened.
They did. So there was stuff that happened.
Put it out and deleted it, or what? Why wouldn't they? It had to be a MMA media that posted that their response or whatever to a question. It's like, why would you not post that on their Instagram,
on your own social media?
Yeah.
So I did. Yeah. So I did reach out.
You're not blocked?
No. GFL, look, GFL and Octagon are like Timmy B's best friend, man. They speak to me, they talk to me. Now, I did reach out to GFL as soon as I heard the news, and I said, hey, we just had Penny on to promote the GFL, and I'm sorry to hear. Again, I am requesting Darren Owen come on this podcast. I've asked them multiple times. They have not said no. They're just like, we're figuring things out. We know you're there, blah, blah, blah. I would love to be able to talk to Darren Owen about the delay and just get a real conversation going about what's happening. In my opinion, Bam Bam, you had too many fights on these cards.
So wait a minute, who are these other guys? Why did this MMA junkie and MMA fighting? Why do they get some news about what's going on?
Because they are controlled media, like what.
That's true. Yeah.
Like they're what Jake Shields told us, right? They're the media.
John Fitch.
Yes, they're the media that John Fitch told us is very controlled, right? Like, they'll spin the story. They won't ask the real questions. No offense.
Yeah.
And look, if I can get paid a lot of money, Bam Bam, I will give up all my morals and ethics, and
Hell no.
I will say anything you want me to say, right?
Hell no.
Just kidding. Would I? I don't know. How much money would they pay you to where then you wouldn't ask hard questions, or where you would, you know what I mean?
Not ask hard questions, not ask the real questions.
No, just in general. Can I say too? There's this guy on now we're just getting way too long here, but there's this guy at Fight League Atlantic. This is Cameron Wall out of PEI, Enzo Gracie PEI. See this guy here in the sweater?
Okay. Yeah.
I think even during the fighter meetings and stuff, he was wearing a suit, like a purple, like a cool jacket and stuff. This guy was very like stylish the whole event.
Nice.
I'm just seeing they did a post of it. Yeah, a lot of characters, man. That's what I like. A lot of people with some real personality, I like that. But yeah, no, how much would the media have to do? How much would the media have to pay you to then not ask real questions? Like, at what point would you give up? Not like just go, yeah, fine. If you're going to pay my yearly salary, I'll just ask whatever dumb stuff you want.
Like, basically they make the question list and I just ask them?
Yeah. And report on just...
I guess if... Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. There is a dollar amount where you would do that, right? Obviously.
I guess.
And I don't think it would have to be crazy. Like, if you go, hey, you just don't want me to ask hard questions. You just want me to ask softball layups that you give me.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then you continue to give me access and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Now, here's the other question. Is there any dollar amount where you would not give it your all in a fight?
Absolutely not. I've been asked this question before by people. I don't give a shit how much you pay me. There's no way I'm rolling over.
Yeah. That's why you're not getting that Mike Perry fight, you bastard.
Damn it.
No, but there's a dollar amount for other people, right?
I'm sure there is. Yes. Actually, I've seen, especially local scene stuff. There's those guys who go in and, they're going to take a dive, or pay them basically to go in and take a dive. They have already a bunch of losses and everything.
Sure. I'm not saying take a dive. To be fair, I'm not saying take a dive. I'm just saying not give it their all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, to be a little bit nicer, while I totally disparage your honor and class. Yeah. What else? There was something else I wanted to talk to you about, but look, we're getting long now. We had one incredible guest. We've touched on
the sauna.
We've touched on every single topic that I wanted to, that I could think of. I didn't have pictures and stuff, so I apologize for that. But it was a good show. I was kind of dangling on in case we got Mario Kart Liz Carmouche, but not happening.
Damn. Hey, the line's probably super long, honestly.
Can you imagine? Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
All right, man. Look, we are out of here. It was a good show. Next week,
yes.
Chuck Buffalo, you son of a bitch. I better see you here next week. Cam Smotherman, hopefully we'll get him. I still want to get on Jessica Borga, BKFC champion. There were some fighters from Fight League Atlantic that I would love to have on. Derek Clark, the owner, I still want to speak to him again to talk to him about how he feels the promotion is going and everything's going there. And I've got a long list of people. Sean O'Malley. Yeah, if I can make room for Sean O'Malley, we'll make room for him. Who else? Juliana Pena get on the podcast. I know she used to date a guy, one of my friend's friend or something like that. So I'd love to get her on. Magic Mind, go check them out. Thank you so much to Magic Mind for sending us some stuff. That's very cool of you. Really appreciate it. I do feel a lot better, Bam Bam. I swear to God, I'm not lying, man.
Nice.
I don't know.
Look forward to
I'm feeling pumped up.
Starting it.
I'm also not as sick as I normally am after I take my flights. So I wonder if that's a little bit. I wonder if it's helped my immunity a little bit. Anything else? Kayla Harrison, she'll never come on the podcast. GFL, let's get them on. Yeah, there's something else I was going to talk about. But anyways, we're out of here, my man. Thank you so much. Anything you want to say?
Oh, it's great podcast. I know the guest was short, but well deserved. They're enjoying their time with their family.
You know what? Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. I like doing a short interview because it's good practice to get a short interview in. We always do long interviews, so to be able to like bam, 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 but still have a good conversation.
No pun intended there.
Bam, bam. Oh, but to be able to kind of get it done. And be quick, but still feel like we got a lot out of it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And then gave us time to talk. We talked a lot, hit a lot of topics.
Yeah,
a lot of different discussions. Big conspiracies of the week.
Yeah,
Timmy B's.
Yeah, Pipple's out. Pipple's out. Okay, last question before we go. Does Kayla Harrison make weight 135? Because you get no pound lenience.
Yes.
No. I don't even think she makes weight.
You don't think so?
That's what Juliana Pena was saying. She's like, you have to piss and spit blood just to make it, and you've never made 135. You only made 136. Blah blah blah. Right? Like, and you're so heavy, it's never gonna happen. That'd be crazy if she doesn't make weight. Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing: if she does not make weight, Juliana Pena, you do not accept that fight. You walk out the door and go. Don't put your legacy on. Don't put your legacy on the line for some dumb fight that then doesn't count.
Yeah, I think she makes the weight. I think she's a competitor, and I think she'd do whatever it took. Whether her feeling like absolute garbage, I think she'd make the weight.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just not possible, man.
Yeah, I mean, true. Especially women. It's a lot harder for women. So.
Yeah. All right, man. We're out of here. Bam, bam.
Bye.